Vladdy Guerrero Jr.'s season last year was one for the books, and it's something that was sort of underappreciated and something that we need to talk about right now. Welcome back to the MLB player recaps. I'm just going to try to talk about some players this off season for the MLB to shed some light on their seasons and maybe talk about how they did, how they can improve, and how they were last year in the MLB. So, like I mentioned in the start, we are talking about Vladdy Guerrero Jr., and it's big. Vladdy was phenomenal this year. He was kind of let down a bit on the bar of levels because of his socio-time. The guy could pitch, hit, he could throw 101 miles per hour and hit 400-foot bombs. And I don't think anyone's competing with that. But we look at Vladdy's season, and you cannot underappreciate that. Vladdy turned into one of the better players, or one of the best players in the league. In my eyes, the best first baseman in the league, probably over Freddie Freeman now. And he is actually looking like a player for the future for the Blue Jays. He's looking to help the Jays for sure in the future. He's looking to get some money now, as he can get paid some money because of his good year this year, and hopefully, which is projected as well, he will continue his reign over the MLB for now. All right, so now let's take a deep dive into his year last year. Vladdy was not the best in the years before. We kind of knew that, right? Vladdy kind of was a letdown, not phenomenal by no means. Vladdy came up halfway through the 2019 MLB season in August as a call-up member for the Jays, playing first base at the time. Vladdy came up, wasn't terrible. Vladdy hit .272 with an on-base percentage of .339 and a slugging percentage of .433, and only played 123 games. Now, not a full season, you can't account that much, but it's not what we expected. The number's there, the .272 average, right? It's not bad, but it's not phenomenal by any means, right? Vladdy was supposed to come up and be the next Mike Trout looking guy. Didn't do that, but did perform pretty good. He hit .272, pretty good, but had a bit of a problem with striking out. His K percentage was the highest of his career right now with 18.7, as he struck out a lot. He walked 8.9% of the time, which is low for his career looking at it now, but still a good year. Now we go to 2020, the shortened season. Played every single game of the year, 21 years old. He hit pretty well, .262 average, which was lower than last year. Didn't have the best year. I don't know what it was. Couldn't get that much pop off his bat. Couldn't get a lot of RBIs as he did last year, as he showed in 2021 that he is easily capable of doing. And looked different at the plate, right? You compare his pitches, which ones he could hit in 2021 to 2020, and it's completely different, right? Vladdy was a monster on the breaking pitches before, right? He was hitting for his breaking pitches, he was hitting a lot better. In 2020, his fastball, which he hit, in his times that he hit fastballs, was not even close to as much as it was now, right? If you look at it, he liked the breaking pitches. He liked the off-speed pitches, but wasn't the guy who was the big fastball guy. Now we go to 2021. He changes it up. He is now hitting 55.9% of fastballs that are coming at him. For fastballs in 2021, he had 26 homers off of just fastballs, 17 off of breaking, and he turned into a whole different player. Now let's go back to 2020 still. We're still there, right? He didn't have the best OP. He didn't get on the base a lot, right? A 229 OBS is not out of this world, but not bad. I think this was like a learning year in 2020. He was getting his feet in the ground in the MLB. Still young and still is now, but I feel like he's advanced more to what an MLB player is supposed to be at this time in his career. And then we go to 2021. Whole different player. He lost a lot of weight in the offseason, which was huge, and got a lot more power, learned how to raise the ball more, which he could still really improve on, by the way. Raising the ball was one of his big things that he could do in the minors. He kind of dropped it off when he came to the majors, but picked it up this year. He played 161 games. He literally sat out one game the whole entire year. And that guy really helped out the Jays. Keep in mind, still 4 bases. Kind of cool. He really lowered his K percentage. Now, 15.8 K percentage. He was walking more, 12.3 walk percentage. 4% higher than last year, right? That means 4% of the times he was at bat. 12% of the times he was at bat, he walked because pitchers were afraid of him. You know how many times he intentionally walked this year? A lot more than last time. He hit .331 with a 401 OBP and a 601 slugging percentage. He hit over 1,000 in his OPS and had a 6.7 WAR. That's what I need to point out, right? In 2019, he had a 0.2 WAR. 2020 had his 0.4 WAR. Now you go to 2021. A 6.7 WAR. That means he was contributing to his team a lot. That guy wasn't there, which he rarely wasn't. He was still giving the Jays good at-bats, still giving the Jays good plate appearance, and just helping them a lot more than anyone. He really picked up the MLB way. He was hitting fastballs a lot. His percentages for everything was up. He was getting the hard hit percentage up, which was big. He, in 2019, only had a 38.5 hard hit percentage. Now in 2021, with a 55.5 hard hit percentage. He had a lot better exit velocity, 95.2 compared to 89.3 in 2019. Had a much better barrel percentage with 51.1 compared to 8.7 in 2020. Much, much better. He is making contact with the ball. He's hitting it harder, and he's lifting it in the air. And he was striking out less, walking more. Sweet spot percentage, 33.5 compared to 29.5 in 2020. He is raising the bar for everything. He was hitting more pitches. He was getting on base more. He was higher batted balls for sure. 496, almost 500 compared to 2020 with a 196. Much better, right? He had his average exit velocity of he had the 100th percentile. He was the best of the best. Then he had a phenomenal hard hit percentage, 98 percentile on his hard hit percentage, 97 on expected slugging, hit a really low K percentage, max exit velocity, 99th percentile. It was amazing. Everyone thought coming into this year that he would be big with his weight loss, and it really showed up. He was showing that he was getting in the gym, showing that he was working to become one of the best players on his team. He admitted it himself that his 2020 season was kind of a letdown, and he could have improved the next year. And that guy was determined, and that's what he did. Now let's look into the future, right? He has popped. A lot of his runs came off of the home run ball. He was hitting far. He was getting them out of the park really well, getting a ton of singles, doubles, triples, all around. Amazing player. He was a really good defender. Arguably, I think he should have won the Gold Glove, but hey, you never know. And was one of the best players there was. He had a 1.002 OPS. That's hard to do for a whole year. Everyone thought he was going to drop off at some point in the year and just lose it, which I personally thought too. I if you looked at last year, you don't think a guy who just hit like 262 is going to be one of the better players in the year, hitting over 300 and having an over 1,000 OPS. You don't think that. That rarely happens. And he was driving in people too. 111 RBIs. This guy was a machine. You look at Jose Abreu's numbers. That guy is an RBI tank. And Vladdy turned into a mecca. You see, Abreu, he only had 102 RBIs this year. Vladdy had more than him. Vladdy was better, right? He is looking to be an amazing player. 22 years of age. Keep in mind, he still has some areas to improve. He can sort of tilt down because remember that point in the season where every first pitch he'd swing at, it would be that point of time where if the pitcher made a mistake, that ball was out of the park. But if the pitcher was actually made a good pitch, now he's down 0-1 in the count. And I don't know. But I think those are some things to improve on, right? He can lift the ball better. He can work on keeping the ball out of the play. He has not the best whiff percentage in the 20th percentile, which is big. He's not fast, but I can't blame him. He's not the kind of guy to be fast. And his chase rate is in the 70th percentile, which is another thing he has to improve on. Like I said before, he likes to chase the ball. He likes to swing at bad pitches on his first swing, which he can improve on. Sometimes he does swing at bad pitches, but altogether, he's just a really good player. You can't look bad at him, right? He placed second in the MVP, hit phenomenal, one of the best in league history. No, he had the most home runs for the most home runs for a 22-year-old in history. Keep in mind, he, again, 22 years old, hitting almost 50 home runs. You don't see that a lot. Pete Alonso hit 56, but he was 24 when he was a rookie. Vladdy, he's been here since he was 19. And he has a lot more to improve and a lot more steps to get in the league. And we can't look back on this year and can't think that this was not impressive. Shohei Ohtani definitely deserved that MVP. Unanimous, not even a decision that Vladdy should have won. But he put up a good case. And I can't blame him. And I'm going to say Vladdy is going to be the best player in baseball in the next couple of years, or at least in 5. That's just my take. I might look back at this. This idiot just said Vladdy's going to be the best player in the league. Well, you never know. That's my opinion because he is projected to be better. And if this guy who hit 311 last year is projected next year to hit 319, that is going to be a scary player for the future, and that is someone that is going to be looked at, and he might be one of the best players in the league in history. I think that will do for MLB player recap for today. If you like this, subscribe, and comment if you do have any suggestions for other players we should talk about from last year's season. See you guys soon. I'm going to do some more NBA recaps. If you like those, comment it down below. Have an amazing day. See you guys next time. Bye.